messenger. That those persons, after seeing the Muslims grow in their religion under the leadership of Muhammad the Prophet, they were convinced at a certain point, that you can't change these people. You're not going to be able to take them out of their religion. See, so they have despaired of making you change your religion. Huh? Yes. So we see the same thing repeated in our life. It keeps coming over and over again. Believers will be in situations where they'll be under powers or surrounded by persons of another faith who are not pleased with you continuing in your life and in your faith. And after a point, they will give up. Say, we can't change those old Muslims. We can't change them. But let us make sure that they have no opportunity to establish themselves materially. Because if they ever establish themselves materially, we certainly would have lost all hope of dominating them. So what do we want to do? We want to stay around here forever? A ghost of human life? A ghost of community life? That's what we are. If we believe in God and we accept that we are supposed to be the ummah of God, the ummah of Muhammad, the ummah that God prescribed for us in the Quran, that is the community. And we don't have nothing but our faith, nothing but our religion, nothing but our prayers at home, and prayers in these small places that we rent, and a few that we have, we own. But they're small, they can't accommodate all of us.
There it is.
We go on, are we gonna go on, please?
No, sir.
To have no body, no physical body, B-O-D-Y, no physical body through which to express our spirit, our religion, our Islamic life. You just can't have Islamic life in your heart and in your spirit. Islamic life has to be expressed in Islamic structures. Islamic life has to be expressed in halal businesses. Islamic life has to be expressed in homes owned by Muslims. In factories owned by Muslims. Yes. In productive land owned by Muslims. In transportation for shipping products owned by Muslims. In cars and buses and trucks, trains and airplanes, owned by Muslims. A little man with only 3 grades of education from the South, back then, his time, what was it worth? Nothing. Nothing then and certainly nothing now. 3 grades of elementary education. He showed us the picture of what he wanted us to grow into. It was in a kind of like a comic strip, but it didn't make us laugh, it made us serious. He showed us roads paid by Muslims, farmlands producing abundantly, owned by Muslims. He showed us factories and heavy machinery, owned by Muslims, airplanes flying in the sky, owned by Muslims. He excited our appetite for a man's share of this good earth. Didn't he? Yes. He excited our appetite for a man's share of this good earth. Now that you have the Quran and you're reading it with clear eyes, shouldn't you want those things? Shouldn't you want that dignity? Should you want a neighborhood of thousands of people? A United States of millions of us? With neighborhoods, east and west and midwest, north and south and everywhere, African American neighborhoods. You can drive now west where you used to pass through white man's zone and be afraid. Because over there, if you caught you over there, you could get killed. We can drive through that west side area now, through all that territory that used to be closed to us. And now it's open to us. And we've taken our poverty into the area where the white man used to be. That's right. We've taken our poverty into his area. We have taken our sterility, our business sterility, our economic sterility. We have taken it over there in his quarters and have spread it into his territory, have penetrated his territory deep, miles and miles, into territory that was only his. We are there now, but we are there as his dependents. That's right. We're there to purchase from his stores. We're there to buy his old used up houses. We're there to buy his old problem plumbing, and electricity. We're there buying what he has left. And you think he's running from you. He's fooling you. He said, well, we got everything out of this, and it's going to cost us a whole lot of money to bring it back like it was when we moved into this area. So it's time for us to move out. The blacks want to come in here. Oh, they're dying to come in here. But let's move out and get twice what we paid for this property and turn it over to them. Yes. Are we going to...
That covers that. Did that answer? I did yesterday. You weren't here, and I want you to look at that site because we talked about this yesterday. But I said to them that when we had an opportunity, now let me give you where this is at. This is November the 6th, and it's extensive, but I cut it off right there because it answers the question, inshallah. This is November the 6th on YouTube. 2005 in Chicago. You all go back and listen to this and study this. This is Imam WDM Muhammad. And I mentioned yesterday, Rashid, that Imam Muhammad's main concern 3 months before he passed, he's telling me I'm working with him in the business, and I listed those things. I won't be redundant. I'll just give you the CD so you can listen to it. But his main concern for this community was what you just stood up and asked.
Allahu Akbar. Okay. We have come to the conclusion of our panel session, but we have one more. You want to respond to that?
Well, no. Are you going to say something else?
No.
One more.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm not going to respond.
Okay. Go ahead. Let Sister Nadia respond.
I'm not going to respond, but I just want to add this because I think that was well said, well put, perfect. We needed to hear that. But what I want to say is that, you know, the youth in our community, and I tell Anissa all the time, she's an inspiration for me. I said, when I hear you talk, I said, I feel like somebody's putting a foot here and saying, get up and get busy, because you know what you need to do. You don't have to be told. So the inspiration that comes from them, and this is a blessing to us in this community. I took notes yesterday because I was really inspired.
Allahu Akbar.
But and I picked out 3 things that, one thing from each one of them yesterday. First of all, Khalila said, prophetic leadership model. You know, and that's a key. You know, we have no excuses. We're all leaders. We all have to feel responsible that it's something we can do. It's something we can contribute to in this community to make it whole and to progress it. Sister Nisa said, social reality. Social reality and duality. So, you know, you don't have social reality, you have to do what? Get some social reality, right?
From somewhere.
So that's going to bring what? The balance, right? We have to be balanced. And then Abdul Rashid said, social vision, social activity, and ambition. So, I mean, all these things that if we listen to them, and if we try to take it and put it in action and respond to it, we will begin to build the community that we need. Ambition, we have a lot of entrepreneurs in the community, including myself as one. But if we put these things together, we'll begin to do the things that we need to do in response to what Imam Muhammad said that we need to do.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Can I say
Go ahead, Imam.
one quick thing?
Go ahead.
Just to respond to what the brother asked. And it's along the lines of that having that urge to see the community just flourish. And that comes from having a language that you know is real. That it creates an appetite in you that you don't, what are we waiting for? You know, man, we should be there. And I used to be that same way. But I had to come to a realization that all of us, and we just have to be honest, all of us are not going to be around here for the takeover. We may not see it, but man, it's coming. When when you get to traveling around the country, you'll see that the language from all the imams are the same. That's where we are now. Everybody's saying, build, build, build. But it's just kind of like, if you look back in the 80s, I was looking at the video that Imam Yahya was talking about yesterday. I don't know if you're talking about it yesterday, but when the delegation of imams went to Saudi Arabia. And I laughed because I'm looking at all these old cars. And I'm looking at that old Mercedes. Man, look at them, man, what they think they were doing back then. But that was what was the norm. That was clean back in the day. That was the best of the best back in the day. But let somebody pull up in one of those Mercedes-Benz today. So what I'm saying in a nutshell is very simple. All of us are not going to be around to see the beautification of this community. We just not going to be here. I may not be here, but we know, like Imam Fahim Shoaib said today, the old preacher said, just move the line.
Just move the line.
Just move the line. I'm younger than Imam Qasim. I'm younger than Imam Shoaib. I'm younger than Imam. So they may not see it. I may not see it, but if I move the line, if I move the line, then hey, alhamdulillah, I did my job. And then when my kids see the beautification, they can say, man, do you remember when Yahya? You remember when my papa, when my such. So you just have to do what it is you have to do and be happy with what you did.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. So, one of the most impactful things that I ever heard from Imam WD Muhammad came from this man, Imam Qasim Ahmed. In reference to what we're discussing now, a Muslim is a builder, obligated to look for things to do what? Build upon instead of tear down. Our people have been conditioned to just tear up everything, even their own stuff. When I came into the language of Imam WD Muhammad, this is the leadership I saw. Tyree, you a builder. And what better thing can you build than people? Now, if you ain't noticed, this panel was picked very strategically, with compliments of Imam Elijah and myself, right? Very strategic. We put this, it's 4 generations of Muslims sitting up here. I wish we had a couple of more sisters, because we have the balance. Look what the sisters are. We have the balance. But we all have agreed to the fact that the advancement of our community life is strongly predicated upon the appetite that we develop in our young people. So we have Kamal. And we would like to give Kamal the opportunity to express, not to answer any questions, but to express to us what the young people in this community desire to have, or how they desire to get it from us. Because you can get into a way of teaching. You know, most of us are teachers, especially as imams. We teach a lot. And we get into our own mode of how we teach. But sometimes you have to teach the way people learn. You have to know the student well enough to teach the way the student learns. And this is what I've learned in the outer community, dealing with the public, bringing the language of Imam Muhammad to them. You can't bring out Quranic verses all the time. You have to become the Quranic verse in reality for them. And you can't start reading off a bunch of Arabic or you turn them away. So I had to help develop, but Imam Muhammad gave me the best platform to develop his language in the most clear, concise way, just like Imam Malik said. So let's give our younger brother on the panel, and I'm excited to hear Kamal, because come on, Kamal. Kamal is engaged in this community. He's immersed in his parents. They are born and raised students of Imam W.D. Muhammad, and Kamal is here, and it's his voice that we really have to listen to. to really gauge the progress